Allen is considering coming out of retirement to sign with, of course, the Golden State Warriors.
Come on.
Or possibly the Spurs, Cavs, or Clippers. That's also the rumors that are circulating around hoopsrumors.com and hoopshype.com. The big frontrunner for it is the Warriors because it would be an extremely cheap contract. They have almost no money to give out at this point, even after signing guys like Zaza Pachulia.
Why would that be?
They gave Steph Curry an extra $400,000.
Or maybe because there's a limit in roster positions you can have on a team.
So why not add your 16th three-point shooter to the team? I'm going like past the coaches because even Steve Kerr can shoot threes on that team. The big question, though, is how effective would Ray Allen be? Because we saw what happened with Paul Pierce. You know, wasn't even great on the Wizards, but still was able to make that big shot at the end of games. Went to the Clippers, really fell off. That extra year you can see, the wear and tear, his defense fell off a lot. His shooting percentage fell off. Now, with Ray Allen, I understand the idea of you can come in, play 7 minutes a game, take 2 threes, probably go 1 of 2, shoot 50%. Could he play defense? Is he a guy who can defend? Is he a guy who can still score?
Well, this is the other difference. Ray Allen, I feel like he was known for being, even in his later years, of course your performance is going to fall off because you got younger guys playing against you. But he was known as one of those older guys who stayed in immaculate shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Even in offseason, we knew he was coming back for another season, things like that. I think his last year was 2014. Yes. Even before that, everyone knew that the guy didn't sit around during the offseason. He didn't take many breaks. So for what, 41-year-old soon?
41-year-old.
If he plays next season, he'll be a 41-year-old in the league. He's in better shape. I'd say push that age down to, say, a 34-year-old. That much.
Because and he was also never really that injured.
Right, exactly. Because of things like that. A lot of guys, you know, barring freak injuries like you step on someone's foot and you turn your ankle, slip on a wet spot, stuff like that, the reason you end up not, staying away from injuries is because you just stay in shape. You kind of take care of yourself, and it's less likely to happen. And he was one of those guys.
So do you think if you signed with the Warriors, Spurs, Cavs, Clippers, I guess effective is almost an unfair word just because, well, what is the expectation? What is the expectation for Ray Allen? A couple minutes as a veteran, maybe veteran leadership?
Well, I mean, it's another thing, too. And, again, obviously he wouldn't be starting on teams like these. Maybe when there's an injury or so, he'd be starting, right? But he'd come on, and again, he'd be playing against bench players, or he'd be playing at the end of a quarter.
That's a good point. He'd be playing the second lineup.
Absolutely. So then that guy is still better than a lot of, I mean, there's great bench players, obviously. This comes where it's like a second shift almost.
Right.
These shifts are great players. It's not like there's a letdown that much. It's just not the starters.
There's a couple things that stay intact. One, you don't lose a jump shot as sweet as Ray
Absolutely.
Allen's. And one other fact that I was blown away by in regards to Ray Allen is that J.R. Smith has the exact same amount of three-pointers as Ray Allen through his age 30 season. But J.R. Smith is not the shooter that Ray Allen is. I mean, I look at it. So, my God, if he joins the Warriors, first of all, they're already the most hated team in sports because of Kevin Durant.
Right.
Even towards the end of the playoffs, they were becoming the most hated team in sports. The villain turnover was unbelievable.
But is it, I mean, they're becoming...
supposed to stop the Sith J.R.
Right. See, they're becoming that, but is it their fault? I mean...
No, the Warriors don't care if they're the most hated team in the NBA.
But, I mean, is it even their fault, even if they did or should care, is it their fault that people keep flocking to them because they're winning?
They're good? They're successful, therefore people want to go play for them. Oh, what a-holes.
Yeah, I mean, I was upset. The basis for my disdain for the Lakers is because the way that they would just get all the best players and barely have to even try to even do it. So the anger for that was just frustration. My anger towards that team started sparking because then people started acting like they had this great development system of players. I said, that superstars just came to your team. But the one guy that you drafted, which you didn't draft, you had in a trade, was Kobe. But they got players rather than. So there's always this there's this pride thing when people go, our team, we built up. You didn't build up any players, so calm down.
Right. Well, the Kobe one that was them, but like the success of the Lakers in the '80s and stuff like that. Magic drafted by the Lakers. Their greatest players.
I'm talking about the 2000 Lakers.
Okay, I was going to say their greatest players historically have been drafted. Which helps, when you do that, you can get bigger free agents. So, the Spurs I can see a fit for because any veteran can go play for the Spurs and get rotated in with Popovich. The Clippers and the Cavs, on the other hand, I think he'd have to actually play more Like, I think if you're trying to fill a need and you need 3-point scoring, the Cavs don't necessarily need that, and the Clippers already have one of the better.
I think the Warriors might need a couple extra 3-point shooters on the
floor.
floor.
Just to balance out the amount.
Yeah.
That entire lineup can shoot threes, which is, terrifying.
It's not
in
enough.
many different ways.
They need more.
So another veteran, by the way, David West, has also signed with the Warriors. David West, back in 2014, I'm paraphrasing, said ring chasers are some of the worst types of people in the NBA. David West signed with the Spurs, took the veterans minimum to chase a ring, and now he's signed with the Warriors to chase a ring. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. However, there's this great tweet that came out on David West. You got Spurs, Big O Show, have title team, will work for vet minimum. David West has agreed a one-year deal with the Warriors for veterans minimum, $1.29 million.
Wow.
J.R., you've been at TYT for a little bit. Why don't you demand the veterans minimum?
I know. The veterans
$1.29 million.
I'll take the $0.29 million.
I'll take the $0.29.
I feel like there's a difference between ring chasers and guys that are going to teams that have a shot. Look, so you can say that Kevin Durant is a ring chaser because that team should have won last year. A lot of people believe, of course, and they're going to have another chance to do it every year for the next 10 years. It seems. So it seems that way because he's a guy who can affect another team and maybe propel them to that level. Right. Guys like David West, who are they're kind of role players at this point in their careers. Right. To be a ring chaser, at this point, I think you're only that if you're just sitting on the bench. To the point where you see a championship team and you look at the roster afterwards and go, oh, that guy has a ring? And you're surprised because you never saw them on the floor. Right. David West will play. So right. I don't even put him in that category because he'll play. He has some contributions. We knew he was on the Spurs last year. He was there. We saw him.
He was there. I didn't think he was as effective either. I mean, you watch David West come in.
He's not going to be, you're right.
And he's not going to be. Now, some of it I do think has to do with maybe a veteran presence in the locker room. It's why I think the Lakers really wanted Luol Deng when it came to signing somebody, is they wanted like an adult in the locker room full of, I don't say this disrespectfully, children. I mean, they're not much younger than me. I'm 24, but like D'Angelo Russell and company, they're 18, 19 years old.
Well, one thing Luol Deng is not doing, Luol Deng is not chasing any rings. He's not doing that.
No, he went to the Lakers to chase a ring, to wait 4 years, and eventually that catches up, and they're going to say 4 years ago, oh, he just went there because he knew Brandon Ingram was going to be the next Kevin Durant.
But think about that. If you're the guy who's supposed to be the adult in the room on a team that doesn't have much of a chance at this point, seemingly, to do much.
What's the opposite of a ring chaser?
I mean, man, a glutton
You're a
for
ring
punishment.
creator.
Yeah.
It's a bottom dweller. One ring
Much
to control
respect to Luol Deng, man. I wouldn't do what you do. I'd take the .29.
Pick the $0.29 million and go play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, there's not many teams who are going to be able to win a title next year, and the Warriors look like the front runners. I only say that because they have a team that is really, really good. Hashtag analysis right here. Comment below with what you think. Should Ray Allen come back? If he does, where should he go? Maybe if they brought the Supersonics back to Seattle, he would sign with them. Maybe. All right, like, favorite, subscribe to the video, @JR Jackson on Twitter, @JasonRubenon. You're welcome to see you next time.